हाय एवरीवन, वेलकम टू मैथ मैजेस्टिक। आज हम करेंगे क्लास 10th मैथमेटिक्स का चैप्टर 2 पॉलिनोमियल्स। इन दिस वीडियो वी विल लर्न अबाउट व्हाट आर पॉलिनोमियल्स, डिग्री ऑफ द पॉलिनोमियल, classification of the polynomial on different bases, and zeros of the polynomial, which we have learnt in previous classes 7th, 8th and 9th classes. So this video is going to be the introductory video of the polynomial. So let's start with the definition of polynomial. You can see that polynomial is an algebraic expression consisting of variables, constants, and operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and exponentiation with non-negative integral powers. So first we have to understand this definition. Algebraic expressions are the combination of constants and variables along with the operation of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. So polynomial is also an algebraic expression that consists of variables. It can be 1, 2, 3, any number of variables, constants, and operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and exponentiation. That means there may be the powers of the variable, but the powers are only non-negative integral powers. That means non-negative. First we have to understand the word non-negative. Non-negative means, okay, like we know that 0 is neither positive nor negative. So non-negative, if we talk about the positive, so positive starts from 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So non-negative means that starts from 0, that are non-negative. That means that jo negative na ho, that means -1, -2, -3, these are should not be there. So starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, all these are included in non-negative integral powers, means integers. So non-negative integers are 0, 1, 2, 3 up to so on. So the power of the variable may be 0, maybe 1, 2, 3, but negative powers are not allowed in polynomials. So for example, if I write the example of a polynomial, suppose I will categorize them as polynomial and non-polynomial. I will write some of the example of both, so you will understand get the better idea of both. Polynomials, suppose 2y square minus 3y plus 4. This is a polynomial in one variable y only. It may contain more than one variable also. Suppose x plus 11. This is also a polynomial. 5x cube minus 4x square plus x minus root 2. This is also a polynomial. Here you can see that this is root 2, but there is no variable here. It is a constant term, so it can be under the root. Variable power of the variable should be non-negative integers. Constants कुछ भी हो सकते हैं. They can be in fraction. They can be negative also. But the power of the variable, that should be non-negative integral power. Suppose root 3x plus 5. This is also a polynomial. If I write x minus 2 by 11, this is also a polynomial, because variable जो है, that has the power of the variable is not fractional. So these all the examples are of variables, polynomials. So now I will write some more example of non-polynomial for your consideration. Suppose 1 by x minus 1, because if I will write this, it will become x minus 1 raised to power minus 1, which is not allowed. So root x plus 2, it is non-polynomial because x has here the power 1 by 2, that is not integral power. This is not integral power here. Similarly, if I write 1 by x square plus 2x plus 3, this is also not allowed. X raised to power 4 by 5 plus 7, this is not allowed. So these are the some examples of non-polynomials, and these are polynomials. We are considerate about the power of the variable, that should be non-negative integral powers. So these are, there are variables y square, there are variable y, coefficients of the variable are also there, plus minus sign are also there, multiplication is also there between 2 and y square, 3 and y. So these, an algebraic expression which consists of variable, constant, and operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponentiation with non-negative integral powers. That is called a polynomial. So in short, I think now you will have a better idea of what polynomial is. Now we will talk about the degree of the polynomial. Degree of a polynomial. What do you mean by the degree of a polynomial? Degree of a polynomial is the highest power of the variable. Highest power. That is called degree of the polynomial. So suppose in this same we will take the example here again, 2y square minus 3y plus 4. Here the highest power of the variable y is 2. So the degree of this polynomial will be 2. Similarly, in this x plus 11, highest power of x is 1 only. So degree will be 1. Similarly, in this, highest power of x is 3 here. So degree will be 3 here. Similarly, here the degree will be 1. Here the degree will be 1. So highest power of any variable in a polynomial is called the degree of the polynomial. Now, we will do the classification of the polynomials on two bases. Polynomials can be classified under two categories. Now, we will do the classification of polynomials. Polynomials can be classified under two categories. One on the basis of number of terms and second on the basis of degree of the polynomial. So number of terms. On the basis of number of terms, we can classify the polynomial as monomial, binomial. We have done this in class 7th, class 8th, trinomial, quadrinomial. These are basically for classification on the basis of terms. Monomial, mono means one, so that like mono dance, mono singing, so that consists of one participant only. So monomial, that consists of only one term, that is called a monomial. Binomial, bi means two, that consists of two terms. Trinomial, that consists of three terms. And quadrinomial, quad means 4, so quadrinomial consists of 4 terms. So these are the class, and after that, if 5 terms, 6 terms, more than 4 terms, we call it polynomial. Polynomial, poly itself means many. So next, after the 4 terms, we call it a polynomial. Now, on the basis of degree, the classifications are as under linear polynomial. Linear polynomial means the polynomial which has degree 1, like x plus 3. This is a linear polynomial. This polynomial has degree 1. Highest power of the variable is 1 here. So this is a linear polynomial. So if we talk, after this we will talk about the general term of the linear polynomial. Then quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial, that means that contains the highest power as 2. Suppose x square plus 2x plus 4. This is a quadratic polynomial. Then cubic polynomial. Cubic polynomial, obviously, that has highest power 3. Suppose x cube plus 4x plus 7. This is a cubic polynomial. Highest power should be 3. There can be some terms missing in between, but highest power should be 3. You can write like this also. Both are cubic polynomials here. Okay. Now, if we talk about the general term of the linear polynomial, quadratic or cubic polynomial. So, general term of the linear polynomial is, because it is a linear polynomial, so highest power of that variable will be 1. So, we write it as ax plus b, where a and b are real numbers and a should be non-zero. Why a should be non-zero? Because अगर a ही 0 हो गया तो there will be only constant term, so highest power of the variable will be 0 only. जबकि linear polynomial में highest power 1 होनी चाहिए, so a should be non-zero. Now quadratic polynomial के अगर हम बात करें, so general term of the quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c, where a b again real number से belong करते हैं and a should be non-zero again, because the highest power of the variable, if a becomes 0, so this term will vanish, it will become 0. So only leftover terms will be this, where highest power will be 1 only. So it will become a linear polynomial. अगर आपका a हम 0 ले लेंगे तो the polynomial this will become 0. So the polynomial will reduce to this, and which is a linear polynomial, not a quadratic even. So a must be non-zero. Now similarly cubic polynomial की अगर general term की अगर हम बात करें, so for the cubic polynomial also general term will be ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, where a, b, c, there c also, a, b, c, d all are real numbers, and again a should be non-zero. Again अगर a 0 हो गया तो it will reduce to a quadratic polynomial if a 0. So that's why it is not possible. अगर ये हो गया तो it will become a quadratic. So a should be non-zero. So we can take the general terms of the linear, quadratic and cubic polynomial like this. Now we will discuss a very important topic, zero of the polynomial. Sometimes we call it root of the polynomial. Basically we have learned in class 9th about the zeros of the polynomial, of a linear polynomial. So just recall that again, because we are going to learn the geometrical interpretation of the zeros in this class 10th. So now zero of a polynomial. Zero का मतलब क्या होता है in the polynomial? Sometimes we call it root of the polynomial also. So zeros of the polynomial, a real number, any real number you can take. Suppose we are taking k, a real number k is zero of polynomial px if p of k is equal to 0. So that means basically in simple language अगर मैं आपको बताऊं, कोई भी polynomial है, अगर उसको जो भी variable की जो भी value उस polynomial को satisfy करती है, so that value, that number is called the zero of that polynomial, और आप उसको root भी बोल सकते हैं. Suppose आपके पास polynomial है, px is a general notation for the polynomial in x variable. Suppose this is the polynomial. Basic example अगर हम लें तो इसमें अगर हम x की वैल्यू -3 पुट कर दें, p of -3, so we will get -3 plus 3 0. That means -3 इसको सेटिस्फाई कर रहा है. इसका मतलब -3 is a zero of polynomial. जो आपको दी हुई polynomial है इसकी 0 हो गई -3. So a number k is 0 of the polynomial if we substitute instead of x, so we get 0. So basically जो variable की जो value polynomial को satisfy करती है, that is called the zero of the polynomial. So अगर हम different examples की बात करें तो zero of the polynomial, मैं आपको 2 example देके clear कर देती हूँ. Suppose the polynomial is, अगर हम linear polynomial की बात करें तो px अगर आपके पास है 2x plus 5. So here दिस, अगर हमें इसकी जीरोज फाइंड आउट करनी है, देखिए क्वेश्चन 2 तरीके से हो सकता है. अगर हमें इसकी जीरो फाइंड आउट करनी है तो व्हाट वी विल डू, वी विल पुट दिस इक्वल टू 0, देन 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. So now 2x will be equal to -5. So x will be -5 by 2. That means x is -5 by 2 is equal to 0 of polynomial px. तो किसी भी पोलिनोमियल की 0 निकालने का तरीका क्या होता है, पुट दैट पोलिनोमियल इक्वल टू 0 एंड फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ x फ्रॉम देयर. सो दैट विल बी द 0 ऑफ द पोलिनोमियल. सिमिलरली अगर हम क्वाड्रेटिक में बात करें तो क्वाड्रेटिक में भी हम ऐसे ही 0 निकाल सकते हैं. नाउ सो आई थिंक यू कैन गेट द आइडिया अबाउट द जीरोज ऑफ द पोलिनोमियल. सब वो हमने क्वाड्रेटिक की भी, अगर हम एक एग्जाम्पल क्वाड्रेटिक पोलिनोमियल का भी ले लें तो एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस, सपोज वी आर टेकिंग एक्स स्क्वायर minus 3x minus 4. Suppose we are taking this polynomial. So how we will find the zero of this? We will take it as 0. Now we will do the factorization of this. So we will get as the factors of this is x square. We will use the splitting of the middle term here. Minus 4 plus x. We will do the factorization of this. Split the middle term, so -4 and 1 will be the factor of -3. So x we will take common from the first two, and from the last two we will take 1 as common. So we will get from here, one factor is x minus 4, another is x plus 1. X minus 4, x plus 1. Two factors we got, so that means x is equal to 4 and x is equal to -1. These two are the 4 and minus 1 are zeros of px. So we got the two zeros here in this case, 4 and minus 1 of this quadratic polynomial. तो इससे आई थिंक एक बात तो आपको क्लियर हो गई होगी कि जितनी पोलिनोमियल की डिग्री होती है उतनी ही उसके नंबर ऑफ जीरोज होते हैं. यहाँ डिग्री 1 थी तो एक ही जीरो आई. यहाँ पर हमने क्वाड्रेटिक पोलिनोमियल ली जिसकी डिग्री 2 थी तो हमारे पास दो जीरोज आ गई यहाँ से, 4 एंड माइनस 1. तो डिग्री और जीरोज का आपस में रिलेशन होता है, ठीक है. एंड जीरोज किस पर डिसाइड है, अगर आप यहाँ से देखें ध्यान से तो जो जीरो आई है -5/2 इसका रिलेशन इन कोफिशिएंट से है. सिमिलरली यहाँ पर जो जीरोज आई हैं इसका रिलेशन भी इस कोफिशिएंट से है. सो जीरोज जो होती हैं दैट आर रिलेटेड टू द कोफिशिएंट. सो अगर हम जनरल लीनियर पॉलिनोमियल की जीरो की बात करें, जीरो ऑफ अ लीनियर पॉलिनोमियल, तो अगर हम लीनियर पॉलिनोमियल की जीरो की बात करें तो हमारे पास सपोज पॉलिनोमियल है ax प्लस b. तो अगर हमें इसकी जीरो निकालनी है तो वी विल पुट इट इक्वल टू जीरो. यहाँ से ax विल बी माइनस b, सो x विल बी माइनस b बाय a. एंड माइनस b आपके पास क्या था, कांस्टेंट टर्म. b जो थी वही कांस्टेंट टर्म थी पॉलिनोमियल की, माइनस ऑफ कांस्टेंट टर्म. और a क्या था आपके पास, कोफिशिएंट ऑफ द x. सो अगर हम एक रिलेशन बनाएं कोफिशिएंट ऑफ x, अगर हमें जीरोज ऑफ ए लीनियर पॉलिनोमियल फाइंड आउट करनी है तो हम डायरेक्टली फॉर्मूला लगा सकते हैं नाउ दैट माइनस ऑफ कांस्टेंट टर्म बाय कोफिशिएंट ऑफ x. तो अगर हमने ऊपर एग्जांपल लिया था 2x प्लस 5, ये पॉलिनोमियल ली थी, तो हमें अगर इसकी जीरो निकालनी है डायरेक्टली तो बाय फॉर्मूला वी कैन फाइंड दैट माइनस ऑफ कांस्टेंट टर्म इज 5 बाय कोफिशिएंट ऑफ x that is 2. So minus 5/2 will be the zero of this polynomial. Directly we can find out in case of linear polynomial. Suppose if I take the polynomial as x plus 3. So here 0 we have to find out. So minus constant term is 3 here by coefficient of x. Coefficient of x is 1 here. So minus 3, that means this will be the zero of the polynomial. So we can find the zero of the polynomial like this for the linear polynomial. So that's it for the today's video. If you have any doubt you can put in the comment box. I will try to my best to solve your doubts. So now in the next video we will do the geometrical meaning of the zeros of polynomial. So if you like my videos are helpful for you, so please like, subscribe and share. Thank you very much.